Vision behind this exhibition is to look into the history of female artists and feminism in the Arab world. The Diva exhibition from Oum Koulthoum to Dalida we just opened last week was actually an exhibition organized by the Institut du Monde Arabe. It's the fourth destination for this exhibition, which traveled to Amsterdam, Amman, before coming to Beirut. And it opened during COVID actually in France. And it got a lot of success because the vision behind this exhibition is to look into the history of female artists and feminism in the Arab world, starting with a group of strong women in the 20s like Huda Sha'rawi, Rosul Youssef, Asada Gherbadia, Masabni, and moving on to the 50s and 60s through three big sections dedicated to Koulthoum, Warda, and Fayrouz, and then a smaller section to Asmahan. And then the big section is on the history of female actresses who could also sing a tune. So there is a section on Sabah, Fatin, Hamama. It's a lot of archival footages, photographs from their families. When I visited the show, what was very clear is that many of them were originally Lebanese, because it's actually Lebanese and Syrians. A lot of artists from the region came to Cairo in the 20s, 30s to start these cabarets, this sound that we now know, the Arabic classical music. So this is why it's interesting to look that Beirut and the Lebanese played a big role in that, and this is why it was important to bring it to Lebanon. So we actually adapted the whole concept to our space because we have a bit lesser space than in Paris, so we had to choose how to show things on a different scale and add to the contemporary section few artists like Chantal Védician, Rania Stéphan, and Mohamed Abdouni. But we also added archives because when I visited the Fayrouz section in Amman, it was clear that there was only vintage posters, vintage catalogs, that she didn't have dresses presented. So we did everything we could during the time of preparation, which wasn't very long for such a show, to add some archive. And this was done by meeting the son of Sabri Sharif, who is called Munjid. And Sabri was the right hand of Asi Rahbani. He was the one who, with Asi, were behind the idea of Layli Lebaniyye, which started at the Festival of Baalbek, and now it's heritage. And this is when Fayrouz was also started her career, and this is important for the history of our city, of Lebanon in general. And we added, because the section of Sabah is the big frustration of this exhibition, is not important enough, while Sabah is very important for everyone, and we love Sabah, we therefore added dresses. And the dresses are from William Khouri, who worked with Sabah for the whole very long career of Sabah, and Papou Lahoud, who was the sister of Romeo Lahoud and who designed all the costumes for the important theater plays. So we are very happy to present a different Beirut edition to this exhibition, which had a lot of success in Paris, because these women were very strong women during their time. They were able to liberate themselves from the patriarchal societies in the Arab world. There was pan-Arabic vision at the time with Jamal Abdel Nasser and Oum Koulthoum. So the Arab countries were really all linked through this music, through the cinema. And today, of course, it's a different era. The Levant is extremely fragile right now, and Beirut went through such a difficult cycle that we wanted to bring an exhibition that is very joyful, that puts in the center women, female, strong characters. And we still believe that this era is not completely finished, since Fayrouz is still alive. She's the only diva who's still alive. And also reconnect with this heritage, because young generations actually don't really know this part of the history. This is more a nostalgic era of our parents' generation, but the young generations and all the schools will discover these figures who are actually very important to understand the Arab culture when it was really very modern. And we might think while we visit this exhibition and ask ourselves, why are we today in a different era, politically, socially? So there's also this aspect to this exhibition. Yes, it's very glamorous, it's very chic with the dresses, but there's also an underlining of thought of how and why did this era end in a way, and how is it possible to revive this era. In my personal interest, while I was working on this exhibition, I really liked hearing, for example, the filmmaker Rania Stefan talk about the importance of Saad Hosni, because very often when you study the history of cinema abroad or even here, the history of Arab cinema is not included in the curriculum. And this is what Rania has experienced as herself as a student. And at the time she thought, well, I should do myself this research. And she fell in love with this figure, this actress, Saad Hosni, who at the end of her life disappeared. And there's still a lot of, well, it's a tragedy in her life, and we don't know if she was killed, if she was, it was an accident. So Saad Hosni played in 30 films in Egypt. She was very prolific. And this is to show that actually all these divas had actually tragedy in their lives. They had tough lives, whether it's Asmahan, who we know got killed in a car crash, and Tahia Karyoka, who was at the same time a spy, at the same time Saad Hosni, who was very much exploited by this industry. So yes, they were stars on the screen and on the stage, but they had also a lot of struggles in the backstage, still as women. So this is why in this film on Saad Hosni, there is this moment where we see a bit of this tragedy in these lives. And also what's very interesting is that at the end of the exhibition, we see that theater actually died as well. With the rise of cinema and with the rise of technology, those theaters where you could see all these singers sing also got empty. So for example, today the Theater Piccadilly, which was a center in Beirut, is now unfortunately empty. So also we realized that culture moved into other spaces, into another era. And what is very interesting also is in terms of scenography, it's the number of audiovisual material. I really think it's a very fun exhibition to visit once or twice, even because each film you have interviews from Fayrouz, from the TV, from Télé Liban, from Badia Masabni, very rare footage. So that's also a very fun part in this exhibition. And so this exhibition is staying for 3 months in Beirut, and I think we're not sure where it will travel again after, but we know that for now we're sending it back to Paris.